Nerd Card. I'm Phil.
I'm Chuck.
And today we're going to be taking a look at the Obi-Wan trailer because we're going to be diving into this series episode by episode as it comes out.
Not really just the trailer, just kind of like a preview, so to speak, of what we hope to see from the series, what we think we'll see, what we hope to see, and kind of lay it all out, to break it down of what we think is going to happen and what we would like to happen, because those may not be the same thing.
Very, very true. What I am seeing in the trailer, though, is a lot of really, really cool stuff. Obi-Wan, Ewan McGregor is back playing Obi-Wan, and I couldn't be happier. I mean, he's Obi, you know,
he is the
Obi-Wan.
embodiment of Obi-Wan Kenobi for me. I know that Alec Guinness obviously played Obi-Wan before anybody else.
Well, he started it.
But I always associate it with Ewan McGregor. Ewan McGregor, even the cartoon series, I know it was only voiced by Ewan McGregor for the movie, I believe, for the Clone Wars, but then the series was somebody else, but it was drawn to be Ewan McGregor.
Well, it was drawn to be, and that actor's portrayal was
an imitation of
100% an imitation. Yeah.
Right. So he's Obi-Wan Kenobi. I think to most Star Wars fans associate him more than Alec Guinness.
Yeah,
at this point. And he's a fan favorite, right? I mean, he was, when you look back at the Clone Wars movies, he probably did the best acting job of any of the actors in any of those three movies.
I don't even think that's a question. I mean, he definitely, you bonded more with the character of Obi-Wan Kenobi because of his portrayal. Which is funny because you look at him in the Clone Wars and you're like, man, this guy's kind of a dick.
He was kind of a dick in the movies too.
Well, I mean, he was.
He honestly, come on, just the Clone Wars doubled down on it, and you really could see. It's worse. You know, again, I've said it many times in many of our videos. The cartoon Clone Wars series really brings that prequel series to life and really makes you appreciate Anakin, because Matt Lanter did such a good job as Anakin, way better than Hayden Christensen in my opinion. Fair. And you know, I am excited Hayden Christensen's back. I will say that over the years I've come to appreciate his performance more than I did initially.
Well, sure, he's playing an awkward teenager and plays it awkwardly, and he gets panned for that.
Well, because there was some terrible dialogue,
and it's a lot because of the dialogue, not necessarily because of his performance.
Because it made Natalie Portman look like a bad actress, right? And she's not.
She's not.
I mean, she's a great actress. She's a top tier actress, and she looked terrible in a lot of and I'm looking at you, Attack of the Clones, because the dialogue was brutal.
It was atrocious.
So
it's hard to watch.
I'm hoping, but even that said, we're not here to pan on the prequels. You know, that's not what this is about. We're about
the prequels.
The Obi-Wan series coming up, and it takes place 10 years after Revenge of the Sith.
Yes.
So 9 years before A New Hope, or the original Star Wars movie.
Yep.
And it kind of also other things that are in this time frame. So, Rogue One takes place like leading up immediately to A New Hope. So it takes place like 8 years and 12 months or 11 months after this series. And then the Rebels takes place at some point between this series and Rogue One. So I don't know how early into this, maybe I'm going to say that Rebels probably takes place, I'm going to guess, probably 5 years after this Obi-Wan show completes. Just a ballpark. I don't know. Because, of course, in the show in Rebels, Ezra Bridger does go on to Tatooine and meet Obi-Wan Kenobi, but he's more the Alec Guinness old man Obi-Wan Kenobi at that point.
Definitely not the Ewan McGregor. And what ends up happening in that particular episode is Obi-Wan faces down with Darth Maul.
Yeah, again.
And
I went and saw Darth Maul.
Again.
I killed him. Again.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Absolutely. And that's the actual death of Darth Maul.
Yeah, as far as we know.
In Rebels, who knows? Guy's got a track record.
As far as we know, that's the canonical death right now of Darth Maul.
But that does mean that Darth Maul is alive during this timeline. So it's kind of interesting. We've been told through multiple sources that Darth Maul won't be involved in this.
Doesn't mean he won't be.
I would love to see Ray Park come back.
So let's talk about the things that
kill it.
We'd like to see. So Darth Maul, obviously, who wouldn't like to see Darth Maul in this show again?
Of course.
I think it's unlikely. I would like to see just
I
because
think it is too. Yeah.
If you're going to have Maul in the show, you'd kind of want to make him as the key villain and not the Inquisitors.
Well, because Darth Maul deserves that, right?
Right. I mean, he shouldn't be an also-ran.
He got punked in the movies. He was awesome in the Clone Wars. He was awesome in Rebels.
Yeah. And so
it'd be great to see him come
he's
back.
around in the timeline. He's out there running criminal enterprises.
Yeah, he is.
You could see him. He could be referenced, but I don't think so.
Ruling Mandalore, whatever. Yeah, he's doing stuff.
And the same token, I would love to see Ahsoka Tano on this show.
I'd say that's a lot more likely.
She's out there. And what I would really like to see is a flashback to Ahsoka, Anakin, and Obi-Wan all in live action.
Oh, sure.
I think that would be glorious.
God, that'd be awesome.
That would be the thing I would want to see the most, and I think that's the thing that's probably the most likely on my wish list of things to see.
Sure.
Would be that, because Ahsoka, has already been in The Mandalorian. They've already said that Hayden Christensen is going to be in the Ahsoka series.
Well, and Ahsoka's been in Book of Boba Fett. I mean, Ahsoka's kind of the glue tying this together.
Easy have brought, we think she's the glue that ties all of Star Wars together, as you guys know.
We do. Yeah.
You could really easily could have brought her on set for a day.
Sure.
To shoot a flashback scene.
Oh, without a doubt. And it makes a lot of sense to do that, especially with the Ahsoka series coming up and her history with Anakin Skywalker. It just makes a ton of sense.
Yeah.
Not to mention the fact that Dave Filoni is...
Well, he created Ahsoka Tano. Was the first character he drew when he got the job.
He's the guy, right? So he loves Ahsoka.
But I don't think that he will, because I think the Grand Inquisitor is your big new appearance in the show. And frankly, Obi-Wan Kenobi doesn't need any help to draw audience.
No,
you know what I mean?
Obi-Wan's a badass.
They probably had Ahsoka more in the Book of Boba Fett, just like they did Din Djarin and frankly Luke Skywalker, because
and the Grogs.
Boba Fett's not. I mean, he's a huge fan favorite, but he's not the same level as Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan Kenobi.
No, and I agree with that entirely. Boba needed the help. Obi-Wan doesn't really.
I don't think Boba did need the help. The way they wrote it, he needed the help. But the way they could have written it, he didn't.
We have a whole series on that.
Yeah, you can go watch that. We talked about it profusely.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, and you bring up the little green fella.
Yeah.
Actually, both little green fellas are around during when this series takes place.
That's very true. Yeah.
You might get I think it's more not more like. I have a fear. I fear that because the mouse is just like Puffy and it's all about the Benjamins, that you're gonna see Grogs in some kind of flashback at the Jedi Temple with Obi-Wan. I fear you're gonna have that just because money it is.
Yeah, and Grogu is a whole bunch of Benjamins.
He's tons of Benjamins. He's a truck of them. So I'm afraid you're gonna get that just to get it. Because it doesn't really, to me, fit in the storyline. What would fit more would be some kind of, forced conversation with Yoda and Obi-Wan, both in hiding between Dagobah or even Obi-Wan going out to Dagobah and dropping by to check on old Master Y.
We know that Obi-Wan leaves Tatooine during the series. Maybe that's one of his stops, and it would be really cool.
That would be dope.
To see him meet up with Yoda.
That's another one on my wish list. I think it's less likely, but I think it would be awesome.
Oh, it would definitely be awesome. Yeah, I mean, the last time we see those two characters in the movie is them parting ways.
Yeah.
So it'd be nice to see them come back together. Obviously, the big one, though, is, of course, Obi-Wan facing off against Anakin Skywalker, or rather Darth Vader.
And that's going to happen.
At this point. And of course, we know it's going to happen, and frankly, I can't freaking wait
that's gonna be
for
phenomenal.
that to happen. You've got Darth Vader at his peak.
Yep.
His absolute freaking peak.
Yep.
And you got Obi-Wan maybe a little over the hill, but he's still kicking ass.
Yeah.
What we're gonna see is a great lightsaber battle. I hope.
I have no doubt. I mean, there's no reason to bring Hayden Christensen back as Darth Vader if you're not going to reignite that.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. If you're just going to have Vader as a cameo to tell the Inquisitor to go do something, there's no point to bring Hayden Christensen back. Just put a guy in a suit and have a nice day. So I expect heavy Hayden Christensen in this show. When I say heavy, multiple appearances, multiple episodes.
Well, and we really hope so, right? I mean,
that's what you want, right? You've brought him back into the fold. Now use him. He's going to be in the Ahsoka show, right? And I expect that more to be the flashbacks that I'm hoping to see. I think that's where I'll get my snips.
With snips and Sky Guy,
in that show. I don't think it's going to happen in this one, although it could. But yeah, Phil's right. The bringing in Obi-Wan versus Darth Vader is the big ticket item of what everyone wants to see in this.
We want to see the rematch.
And you brought up a point. Yeah. I think Obi-Wan's got to lose.
Well, yeah. As we were watching the trailer, I say, I'd love to see that rematch, but I really feel that Obi-Wan has to lose.
He has to, because when the episode, when episode 4 starts out, Darth Vader ain't all pouty that he got beaten like a stepchild. He's
right.
all around king of the universe, or prince of the universe to the emperor.
For sure.
And, then when he senses Obi-Wan, you kind of get the impression, I know a lot of fanboys are going off on, how can they're screwing up the canon. It doesn't matter how many times they fight between now and A New Hope. There's always going to be the last time.
Exactly.
And if you go by that line as canon, I haven't sensed him, he seems kind of surprised.
Sure.
So that would tend to indicate, as Phil said, that he might open a can on old Obi-Wan at the end of this series.
Obi-Wan loses. And I haven't sensed this presence since...
And he never says it.
9 years ago. Maybe he says 9 years ago. Maybe he says 7 years ago. We don't know. It doesn't mess with the canon
But he's pretty much, like, thought I put that guy to bed.
Right.
Kind of thing.
Oh, yeah,
so,
absolutely.
That's the big highlight of what we expect to see from the series. I think it'll fit really nice canonically into the timeline. I don't think you're going to get much from the Rebel stuff just because of the way that the timeline. You could, you could get Harrison Dula, you could get Kanan, you could get Ezra Bridger, but I don't think you're going to see any of them.
No, I think you're going to see a lot more of that in the Ahsoka series, especially since Thrawn has been confirmed for the Ahsoka series.
She asked, where's Thrawn? In Mandalorian. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think this is really going to focus on the Inquisitors, and the Grand Inquisitor being played by Rupert Friend. I love Rupert Friend. He's not really been in much nerd stuff that I know of, but he was in the show Homeland, which he played just an awesome role in that. So,
well, he's got a video game connection too, right?
Yeah, Hitman 47, yeah.
And he played Hitman 47, yeah.
Yeah, so, the Grand Inquisitor will be fun. The fifth brother, or brother 5, I'm not sure how the name goes, but he'll be fun, and he's played by one of the guys from the Fast and the Furious.
Sure.
So that'll be fun. And then
we got the third sister as well.
Who I think is a new character created for this show. But, seeing multiple Inquisitors, it'll be interesting to see how they expound on that canon, right? Of Inquisitors were Jedi that didn't get exterminated in Order 66, and Vader basically, when he found them, said, you can become an Inquisitor and help me hunt down the rest of your kind, or you can die. Right.
They're Jedi hunters, maybe not by choice, but definitely by threat.
Well, yeah, the Grand Inquisitor himself was a guard at the Jedi Palace at one time. So
absolutely, Filoni has been on record as saying that.
Yeah, and it's in one of the shows actually.
Yeah.
And I believe that one where they're in the world between. In Rebels. So it's in the 4th season, I believe. Don't quote me. But anyway, there's a lot to look forward to in this series. I mean, come on, we're getting Ewan McGregor's Obi-Wan Kenobi again for 6 episodes.
What more do you need? What more do you need?
Hello there.
It's going to be great.
How do you not want that?
If he says hello there once during the series,
hello there.
It's going to be astounding. It's going to be great.
It'll be excellent.
Yeah. I think that's going to wrap it up. That's what we're hoping to see. What are you hoping to see out of the Obi-Wan series? Let us know in the comments below. In the meantime, you can check us out on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
We out there.
SoundCloud, Spotify, all that good stuff. We are out there. Share us with all your nerd friends so they join in the party as well. And with that, we will say,
what's on your nerd card?